1969, Carson Palmer was in 5th grade. Marvin Lewis was coaching linebackers at New Mexico. Even the paper's worried. Cincinnati Enquirer Monday. Please, Bengals, don't embarrass us. Possibility. Broncos come in, pretty good team, 1-4 home team. First quarter, no score. Carson Palmer up top, pitch and catch. Chad Johnson, 50-yard touchdown, his first TD since week 1. What happened to get a man that wide open? Champ Bailey, you're an all-pro, and he just got, fell over. Self-tacklization, and there's Johnson with the magic bean in the first 7 of the game. This is ugly. Watch George Foster blocking Tony Williams right in the knee. Legal, but perhaps not that sporting. Foster certainly concerned. Williams doesn't seem to take it too poorly. Flexes for the cameras, but fractured dislocation of his left ankle. He's out for the season. Second quarter, still 7-0. Palmer one more time to Johnson. Again, this is going to cover 50 yards. Bailey closer, but not close enough. Johnson on the receiving end of 149 and the Bengals 188 passing yards. Same drive, 3rd and 9 on the Denver 10, trying to go in for the score. Palmer, Johnson again. This time the champ takes round 3, comes up with the pick. Let him a little too much, and Bailey comes up with it. Turnover still in the second. Broncos down 10-0. Jake Plummer, Rod Smith, that's a touchdown. 54th of his career. One shy of Shannon Sharp's club record. Broncos trailing 10-7. Second half, we go to the third. 3-point lead, 13-10. Just a field goal, the Bengals nursing that lead. Palmer again, though, to Chad Johnson. Makes a great catch. Chadley, talk about it.
I don't want to say the wrong thing, but, you know, I feel I can't be covered. I can't be stopped.
He can't be stopped. Well, Rudi Johnson could, at least early. 16 carries, 34 yards, but then this one comes. On 1st and 10, he busts it for 36 yards in the score. He finished with 119. So the Bengals win at 23-10, and Denver drops to 5-2. It has been a long time coming, but the Bengals finally end their winless drought on Monday night before a record crowd at Paul Brown Stadium. Bengals hadn't won on Monday since October 1990 at Cleveland. 14 seasons between Monday night wins, the 4th longest of all time.
Sean Champ is simply not happy.
Somebody will have problems. I wouldn't want to play against him next week.
Sean Salisbury, he is here to dissect. And we begin with the Bengals attack. We knew about their running game, so they went to the air. And what happened? They looking to get the best out of Champ Bailey, and instead they got the worst out of him.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? They actually had pretty good balance in this game, but it was coming out. I love the game plan by the Cincinnati Bengals early in this one by attacking Champ Bailey and making things happen early. You know, he's the best stop-down corner in the league. Well, let's go after him and see what he's got in this. The pitch over the top for the touchdown, get into the end zone early. And here's why it happened. People saw Champ fall, and I'll tell you why. Little stutter step and go, little deep post route. Champ bit on the inside of it, lost his balance, and allowed Chad Johnson to catch it and get in the end zone. Excellent route. Now, all this cushion down by the goal line, difficult to give. Champ Bailey's got great confidence. But here's what happens. Do not run that angle because Champ will blow you up. Flatten it off like Chad Johnson did. Make the catch so Champ has to go through you. And let's try it one more time. Go over the top. You're up 7-0. Let's get a big play out of this one. They end up getting a field goal, and it is a big play. Remember how Chad went inside, then out? Well, on this one, he's going outside with the jab. Champ Bailey feels it, buys the outside move. Chad comes right underneath him. Hips are in a bad position. Now, Champ Bailey's got great catch-up speed to prevent the touchdown, but the great throw, an excellent route. Chad Johnson was brutal last week in a football game. His worst game, came out, played his best game of the season on Monday night, and gave Champ all he could handle. It was a great matchup. Chad Johnson got the best in this one.
Big plays on offense, big plays on defense as well as for the Bengals. They played their best game on D. 3 sacks, 2 picks. How'd they create such chaos with Denver?
Well, it's about time. Marvin Lewis's defense, their head coach, needed to get this thing going because, Linda, they've been quite pitiful to this point. People blame it on Carson Palmer, but you got a defense that's got to do something, and they did. Little slot blitz coming off. Jake Plummer recognized it, as does the left tackle, Matt Lepsis. He gets a little push. Plummer has to step up in the pocket, but with such great push by the defensive line back in Plummer's face, look how close he is to the lineman. Now he can't extend the throw, and the interception by James. Now, you're not number 1, so don't put that finger up. You guys are just trying to win some games. Now, that's Smith down there, up there at the top of the screen in the spot shadow. Lepsis, this is a great one. He wants to get rid of the ball to his Plummer. Once again, the line push right back in Plummer's face. He steps up, but then he can't anymore. He has to step back, and he gets sacked by the guy who was blocked earlier, Smith. Lepsis couldn't hold him out that long, and then Smith one more time. Let's go again. This is just great effort running by Lepsis, the left tackle, going after Plummer, hanging on. The effort Cincinnati's defense gave tonight. A lot of people thought they'd be a playoff team, Linda. Their defense has not played well enough to get them there. They did on Monday night, and that is exactly why somewhere along the line they're going to beat some real good football teams like they did Denver and disrupt a little bit of the playoff picture. They needed that effort.
Sean, it's a fitting ending to a very strange week in the NFL. One more thing, Broncos now all-time on the road on Monday night, 5-21.
Broncos ought to schedule all their games on Sundays.
Yeah, and bring the that's right, bring the Bengals back from.
They were together from the very first play to the final post-game hug. Chad Johnson and Champ Bailey were matched up on every snap, virtually inseparable, except of course for the 7 plays when the Bengals receiver accumulated his 149 yards.
I'm not coverable, period. They could have put everybody out there, and I would have had to beat everyone at the same time. You know, that's just something I've always had. You know, regardless of what you do out there, I'm going to always get open.
The guy's quick, fast. He's definitely the quickest receiver in the league. And he's definitely emerging to be one of the best, if not the best.
He talks a lot about how he's the best receiver in the league, and he went up against the best corner in the league tonight, and it looked like he won that battle. So looks like Chad's right.
It's just let everybody know I am the real deal.
Bailey prevented a touchdown with a red zone interception, but Johnson had already proven invulnerable with a 50-yard touchdown catch.
I don't think it bothered Champ at all because he was right back in my face, you know, ready to go again.
Let's go. I'm not afraid of any challenge. I don't care. I still feel like I'm the best. I don't give a who out there. I don't care. I mean, that's just the way I roll. I mean, I'm going to keep on ticking. Somebody going to have problems next week.
That's what I expect to happen regardless of who's in front of me. That's why I was so, so crushed about last week. You know, how could I go out there and perform like that, especially after pulling the Pepto thing?
The embarrassment of sending Pepto-Bismol to his opponents last week and then having what he called the worst game of his career caused Johnson to reevaluate his approach. He remained silent all week, telling me he worked diligently on the simplest part of his job, watching the ball into his hands. In Cincinnati, I'm Ed Werder, ESPN.
You know what happens when you play that well? You get honored as our Snickers hungriest player of the game. Actually, players. Johnson, 7 passes, 149 yards in the touch. And then the Bengals cornerbacks, Tory James, Delth O'Neal, each record an interception against their former team. That's all passing stuff. Sean keeps it on the ground.